Shared this before. I'll share it again. Be a little kid, like 5 or 6. Parents going through bitter custody battle for me and my little sister. Stay with both grandparents through this week while parents are at work. One day, my dad picks me up from his mother's house to drop me off at my other grandmother's house so she can watch me because it was my mom's day with me, or whatever. My grandmother always told me, if the blinds in the front window are up, then I'm home, but if they are down, then no one is home. Get there, and blinds are down. Try to tell my dad, but he didn't want to hear it. My dad is a dick towards me and loves my sister more. Has told me that several times. He has a spare key to the house, so he opens it and yells, "I'm leaving Anon here so Anon's mom can pick him up later," assuming someone was home, and then leaves. No one was home. After I realized this, I ran amok, doing stupid little kid shit, eating cookies and playing with toys and shit. After a while, I start to feel a sense of dread. Go upstairs because I'm feeling uneasy on the first floor. My grandparents' house had a dumbwaiter, but only the chute, so it was like a straight fall down to the basement, a 3-story house. Something compels me to open the chute, look down to the basement, see a woman in all white with white skin and hair staring up at me. Pitch fucking black eyes. She motions to me with her arms, as if saying, "Jump down to me." Hear voices all around me. "Jump, jump, jump, jump." Slam the little door and book it for Grandma's room. Hide under covers till grandmother gets home. Tell her, but she just thinks I'm traumatized from being left alone at home. No one ever believes me, except for my sister. Later, my sister would go on to tell me that she has seen the black-eyed lady too, and she would try and motion my sister to play in the tub when it was full. She was only about 2 or 3 at the time, and would have surely drowned. Was dark in the middle of the desert. Sitting with Buddy on watch. Noticed a woman walking through the brush. Point this out to Buddy. He takes a look and shrugs. Ask if we still good or if we should interfere. Said we got plenty of time, just watch. Both of us watching, while off and on one of us takes a break to look around. Eventually, notice something weird was going on with her. Point this out to Buddy. We both watch while this woman turns into a fucking coyote, which then lopes away. Look at each other. What the fuck was that? I asked him. He states that sometimes weird shit happens, and that it's best to just not talk about it. Why? Well, who would believe us? Good point. Get back to being on watch. I am so demanding a bonus. He looks at me, shrugs, and says, "Yeah, that tends to happen." Much later, get sent into gas station for drinks/snacks. Notice a woman that looks familiar. Ah, fuck it. Go and get all the shit. Walk right past her. Couldn't help but shiver that something was off about her. Get in line for the cash register. Notice she walks right behind and smiles. Fuck. Cue one of the weirdest/scariest conversations I have ever had. Finally pay and leave. Get in the ride. Buddy notices that I look spooked. He asks, "What's up?" Ask him if he remembers that one time with the coyote chick. He gets this strange look and tells me not to say any more. As we're pulling away, notice the woman comes out and stares before ducking behind a corner. While driving for a little while, notice a coyote in the brush, staring with weird-ass eyes. Walking downstairs. The building I'm in houses tons of very bad people. Building is built like a maze, of barred doors with large caged-off rooms for inmates to work out or watch TV. The IRL Michael Myers lives in this building as an example of the type of person we kept in there. So, no surprise that when I saw a shadow figure roaming one of the caged-in rooms from the stairs, I rushed down. Nobody was supposed to be out. I got through the maze of doors and ran to the room to where I could look inside. I saw what looked like a humanoid made of TV static. He quickly dissolved from his head to his feet. Nobody saw it but me, but several other people reported the same sort of thing. I mentioned IRL Michael Myers. His name was Tyler, was in prison for murder, multiple people, went full schizo in prison, sent to my facility, basically the dumpster for prisons across my state for anyone deemed insane or high risk with major mental issues. Tyler had episodes where he forced prison guards and inmates to fight him together. He, allegedly, took on 8 guards and 12 inmates at one point. They tried killing him, but didn't finish the job. Guards had to keep him safe after someone thumped him in the head with a 40mm. Tyler was deemed insane after eating his cellie's face off. Cellie means cellmate. Tyler thought he was a vampire or a werewolf, depending on the day. He was 6'6", 300 plus pounds, and one day, he got loose. Stupid trainee let him out of a shower. I came around a corner. Tyler is standing there, naked. "Hey, Tyler, on the wall, man. Let's go home." "I'm free." "Tyler, it's Officer Orion. Look at me, man." He won't look at me. Fuck. Stupid trainee is screaming into the radio that an inmate is loose. We required backup. Tyler hears the radio. "They will have to kill me, but they don't have the silver." "Hey, nobody has to..." Tyler bolts down the hall and down the stairs. Punches a glass wall of reinforced riot-proof glass. He cracks it. His hand is fine. I go down to him. "Tyler, listen to me. The sun's up. You need to get home." "I don't care about the sun." "I thought you were a vampire." "I am." "Well, you better get home." He agrees. I gave him his attention. He literally lets himself into his own cell, then looks me dead in the face and says, "I was going to eat you." He then proceeded to howl like a wolf for 5 hours and was angry that I quote-unquote tricked him. Be me, 12. Have a friend whose mother is really fucked up, always angry, mean, and never cared about what he did with his time. She always seemed to resent him. Learned years later that she was a heavy drug addict. They live in a small townhouse in a shitty part of town. Go to their house one afternoon, playing Super Nintendo in the living room. His mom gets out of bed finally and comes out of her room. She always slept in really late, talking on the cordless phone, smoking a cigarette. I barely catch a small part of her conversation where she seems to say, "I'll leave it unlocked." She comes into the living room looking worse than usual, like she'd been crying. She is surprised to see me, says, "You didn't tell me Anon was here." Weird, because she normally didn't give a shit about whether he had friends over. He ignores her, continues playing Nintendo. She goes into the kitchen, grabs her purse, and returns to the living room. "I have to run out for a bit. You okay?" I've never heard her ask him that before. He ignores her, playing Nintendo. She comes over and kisses him on the head. "I love you, okay? I love you very much." He looks at her, side-eyed. Okay, what? Anan has to go home. I mean right now, okay? Anan, you have to go now. She walks to the front door and leaves. My friend tells me I don't have to leave. Tells me she's just being a bitch. Playing Nintendo. I'm a little bored. I get up and begin sort of aimlessly poking around the living room, checking out wall hangings, a portrait of my friend and his mom. Walk over to the front door and notice that it's unlocked. Without really thinking about it, I lock the door. Bored of being bored, so I return to sit with my friend to play Nintendo. And we're playing. Suddenly, the door handle starts jangling. It gets more intense, like someone is really hauling on the door, trying to open it. My friend looks at me, scared. We rush to the front window. Some fucking guy is reeling on the door with all of his might, trying to open it. We step back before he sees us. We stare at the door, terrified. The guy is giving everything he has, trying to get inside. My friend starts crying. Oh my god, he's going to break the door. Noise stops. Door is silent again. Run to the window. Nobody is there anymore. We look at each other, horrified. My eyes dart to kitchen, the back door. Run as fast as I can to the back door and lock it. Just then, I can see the shadowy silhouette of somebody at the back door. Door handle jangles. I step back, absolutely petrified. The dude kicks the door and swears before running off. Through the back window, I can see him run away. We go to call the police. Cordless phone is nowhere to be found. I've posted this elsewhere on the internet, but never here. And it's only recently that they seem possibly connected. I'm also on mobile, so bear with me. Be me in small town Michigan in 90s. Older brother starts riding the bus to school, and he waits at the end of our long driveway. One day, he tells Dad a large triangle is watching him from over the trees. It's nothing. He keeps saying it, and would run in crying and miss the bus. Dad waits with him one morning. Dad starts driving him to school for a while, but I don't remember hearing much more. Some time goes by, and my tiny town freaks out one night as huge black triangle is seen flying over the bay by hundreds of people, including cops. Makes local newspaper. Mom saves clipping and keeps it near fireplace in special box with important stuff, not easily mistaken for burning paper. We would reference the article once in a while for a few years. Brother and rest of family remember this happening. And the article, and even family friends, remember seeing it and had copies of it. Fast forward, still quite young. Nice summer day hanging out at home with my mom. Mom is sweet, but tough. Experienced backpacker and EMT, does not scare easily. Folding laundry in living room while watching old TV shows. Out of nowhere, a shiny, new-looking 50s-style black car rips into the driveway while not making much noise. We live down a dirt road, and cars don't stay that clean getting to us. Both doors open, and tall men wearing black step out and immediately make for the front door. Mom freezes for half a second, looks fucking terrified like she sees a bear, scoops me up in a flurry, and rips me around the corner and through the kitchen into the back bathroom that no one used. Laundry baskets and random shit block the bathroom door, but she flings it all aside and stuffs us in. Back bathroom is opposite the back door, with garage attached. She's holding my mouth shut, and tears and spit run from her face as we watch the door and listen. Never seen her so utterly terrified before, or since. I've seen her react to a fucking tornado and calmly get us to safety. Rest of the day is blank to me. Days of me asking and getting no answers turn into months. She eventually tells me she doesn't remember anything like that. Brother and dad were out in town that day. Eventually hear about sightings of men in black and start to think that this may have been a sighting. Ask to see UFO article, thinking it might be connected. Mom says, sure, and goes to get it. It's gone. No one can find the thing. Ask family friends. Yeah, let me grab it. What the fuck, it's not there. No one has the article. Newspaper has no copy or record of it anywhere. Not even online. I posted this on Reddit a while back. Cringe, I know, but I got something interesting. Someone posted about the black triangle and how it would follow them and watch them from just above the trees. The time frame was exact, and they described the exact area as well. There's no doubt in my mind this person saw this thing and lived no more than 5 miles from me. I responded to the post frantically, asking for any info, and the person deletes their account. I plan on asking my mom again soon about that summer day. I've realized why I haven't asked in a few years. I'm horrified of the thought of her remembering and confirming that it happened. What the fuck would I do then? This could all be weird memories and dreams getting mixed up for sure. I hope it is. I have at least one more story to share, but I don't feel it's as connected. The next following stories are all from the same OP. Okay, X. You know that darkness you can only get out in the woods? It's that kind that seems to prod and test you. This happened a couple times at the same house mentioned above. Now in high school, and stay up after parents go to bed to watch Adult Swim. Parents have a nice yard with large pond out front and big windows in living room. I usually have the blinds closed at night because the darkness there gets to me, but I have them open tonight. Eating peanut butter and watching TV when I get the feeling of being watched from outside. Rotate on sofa to get stealthy look outside, but I don't see anything but black at first. Eyes adjust a little more and can make out where the pond is. It's dark as fuck. Eyes lock onto something that I can't quite see just across the pond. Slowly make out a darker silhouette in blackness, moving slightly. Feeling of shocking fear keeps me from looking away. Its head turns towards me, and 2 dull yellow eyes stare into mine. It stops moving completely for some time. Eyes lift off the ground as the shape grows taller. It's hard to judge height from the distance, but it's tall for sure. Shape moves towards road without losing eye contact, and I cannot pull my eyes away from it. It disappears into brush, and I scurry to my bedroom with the blinds shut on my window. Never lost a feeling that something was watching me from just the other side of the wall outside. Living in a really small apartment my family built on their property just after college. It's a cute 3-room place right at the edge of the woods with lots of windows to see the deer. One night after weed and vidya, pass out, but wake up sometime really late. Not sure what woke me up, and everything is dark. Sudden light shines in through closed curtains, right next to bed. Shitting myself. Think, who the fuck is shining a flashlight in my window this late? Second light shines in from a different angle, and now I'm too freaked out to check. Angle of the lights is really steep and high off the ground. The lights turn green and slowly blue. Now I'm holding my breath, hoping it doesn't know I'm here. Lights move rapidly for a few seconds before fading away. Everything gets dark and very quiet. Sudden scream from the woods makes me jump a little. and squeeze my blanket like a bitch. Sounds like a dying rabbit to me. Ask parents if they saw anything last night. They say no, but the dogs were spooked and pissed everywhere in the kitchen. Here's another from that apartment. Another night of gaming and about to head to bed when something bonks, window facing the woods. It's dark as fuck out there, so I grab my flashlight and shine it through the window to see what hit it. Light from the flashlight stops at the window instead of shining outside. It won't penetrate the darkness, as if it's hitting something solid just on the other side of the glass. I should mention that this little place had a front door that faced my parents' place, and a back door right next to my computer desk that led to the woods, and was on the same wall as this blocked window. I back away from the windows and keep the other ones in my peripheral. Something heavy leans against the door next to where I was sitting. The door is locked, but slightly loose, and can be jostled. The metal door is pressed in like something big is leaning against it, but not trying to rip it open. Finally, get my balls back and kick the door back out. It doesn't give easy and feels like I kicked a really fat person. Pressure slowly lets up, and the door loosens again. I found out the next day that the door only kind of locks and can be forced open with enough effort. Here's one that has a definite explanation, but freaked me out nonetheless. Living out of state for college in small second-story apartment in complex. It's a nice place, but I didn't have the eye hole in the door to see who was knocking. Being from a small town and now living in a city, I quickly made it a habit of only answering my door if I knew who was knocking. One night, hear footsteps approaching my door. Someone knocks on my door, but a normal knock instead of anything rhythmic my friends do.
Who is it?
No answer. More knocking.
Yo, who the fuck is it?
Footsteps leave. Few minutes go by, and I hear knocking on my downstairs neighbor's door. Hear their door open, and lots of noisy scuffling with some shouting. Hear a loud and familiar pop. Oh fuck, call the cops. The cops say it was a couple dudes robbing students, and got unlucky to find that my neighbor was armed. How about a camping one that's more recent? Decide to go camping nearby at a popular park. Let's make it more fun and bring a little acid along. Not my first rodeo, and keeping it to a small dose. Camper is really small, and you slide in through the door to lay down, and the door/window is right by your face. Night goes well overall between walks and fire gazing. Acid gave a good ride, but started to turn on me as I tried to get to sleep. Campground is full of people all asleep by this point. There is a little patch of trees just outside my door on a kind of steep slope. Laying there listening to the small drizzle, starting and waiting to fall asleep, when I get the strong urge to pee. Peeing, of course, means getting dressed while crammed in this thing, then wiggling out and walking to the bathrooms. I hear footsteps cracking sticks and rustling leaves outside my door. Steps are definitely a person and not trying to be silent. They don't sound like the steep slope slowed them at all. I can't think of any reason at all someone would walk through a 30-foot patch of trees in my sight at 4-something a.m., holding my goddamn breath, but still have to piss. The steps stop inches from my door, and my face would be about crotch height on someone standing there. I let out a quiet and awkward,
Hello?
no response, but I hear breathing. I have moved my pathetic curtains to see what's there, but I can't see anything. I ain't opening that fucking door. But I must piss. Slide window up and listen through the screen. Nothing. Weigh my options and strategically aim dick at screen. Let it rip. I sort of hope I pissed on some asshole that was trying to scare some tripper. When I was 19, I was playing Marvel vs. Capcom 2 on Dreamcast with my best friend. We usually put the Dreamcast on top of a yoga mat so it doesn't move while we play. My friend got excited and pulled the controller so hard it unplugged from the Dreamcast. So I pulled the yoga mat towards me to plug the controller back in. I was sitting close to the Dreamcast on the floor, and my friend was behind me on the sofa. So my friend passes the controller plug to me, and I turn back to plug into the Dreamcast. When suddenly, the Dreamcast is literally like 1 foot in the air. It is not floating or moving. My mind couldn't understand why or how, so I quickly turn to my friend. And he replies,
You're not crazy. I'm seeing the same thing you're seeing.
As soon as we turn our gaze to the Dreamcast again, it is no longer in the air and placed right in front of me. We both stared at each other and just left the room and went to sleep.